God wants to be glorified. And I tell you, you don't want to waste. Today, times of worship are being cut down. 15, 20 minutes. Also, let me say this, and I'm not afraid to say it because I've been a pastor. The time of worship is not an opportunity. Worship is not meant to prepare the atmosphere for the pastor to preach. That can be a byproduct. But you see, when God's presence invades the atmosphere, the pastor himself will say, what am I going to say? Do you hear what I'm saying? Because there are times when God invades. I'll tell you this last story. I remember one day, I was in worship in church. My pastor then was Pastor Fema Bawea. And as worship went on, God's presence, invaded the church. Pastor was on the floor. He was supposed to take over from me. And as I was leading worship, I sensed in my heart, make an altar call. But I felt it wasn't in my place to do it. And what pastor was... So I stepped off the stage, and I tapped Pastor. Pastor Emi, take the microphone. Pastor Emi walks up to the microphone, walks up to the stage, and the first thing he did was he took an altar call. And I remember 5 men walked out and gave their lives to Christ. You see, the pattern of people giving their lives to Christ in the church is after the word is preached. No word needed to be preached. 5 men came out and gave their lives to Christ. And I've seen that happen again and again and again. Because it's there in the book of 1 Corinthians, where the unbeliever will say, surely God is in your midst. You see, if God is in a place, you don't need to put up an act. You don't need to come and say, God is here. If God is here, we will all know it.